Last thing here. Before we get all the way into just regular topics, as we talk about Trump and obviously what I would believe is hopefully a regrettable situation for him, we then have to get into a little bit more about the Epstein files. And for me, it's like the irony about it, because I'm kind of watching everybody. Well, let me start off by saying this. I kind of now understand, and y'all won't hate me for saying this, but just allow me time to explain. I kind of now understand why the government didn't want to release it. Let's be very clear. With the Epstein files, quote unquote, the new 3 million documents that were released pretty much say, they pretty much paint a picture that there are people who supposedly knew this guy, may have known stuff he did, may have assisted or whatever, but there's not like actual full-on proof of these things for sure. They're allegations, right? And I think, I'm not really trying to pick up for the U.S. government here, but watching how people deal with this information is probably exactly why the government was trying to say, hey, we're going to just say there's nothing there because there's nothing we could prosecute. Now, I know some of y'all are saying, yo, damn, Akil, what's up with you? I'm saying that because people only believe the parts of the Epstein files of the they don't like. They don't believe everything. People are picking and choosing. Everybody said they wanted the Epstein files. Give us the files. We want to know. The government said, here it is. When they seen their mans on it and they seen other people on it, they're like, wait, hold on now. Nah, that's fake. That's false. Nah, I ain't rocking with that. That's crap. And then when they seen the that they don't like, oh, there it is. There it is. That was he was hiding. That's the problem. None of these things are prosecutable. And I'm getting to realize, obviously, I do believe, yes, the government was trying to protect certain people in their images. Definitely. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that I'm disappointed by the people who are calling for the files to be released, now doubting the very files that they asked for. But while doubting the files that they're asked for, they'll believe certain parts of it. Certain parts of it. What am I talking about? Okay. Let's say Trump. The people, a lot of people who wanted the Epstein files felt there was going to be, incriminating evidence against Trump that potentially could be proved. And by the way, I stand to be corrected because there's still 3 million more documents. From what we've seen so far, it's a lot of, I heard this happen. It's hearsay. It's at most we could walk away from some of these like, stories or reports or, these emails, so to speak, because some of these emails were never even sent. Some of these emails seem like diary entries. Like, for example, there's the email where he's talking to Bill Gates. He never sent to Bill Gates. He just wrote it and just left it there, which that's odd already. So, like, whether it's Trump or Bill Gates, do we believe it? Or do we well, you're kind of guilty because you was cool with the nigga anyway. Like, we got to pick a side. Now, people have whatever they think about Trump already. A lot of people, that probably don't like him or whatever, they're probably like, yo, this nigga probably was fucking kids, bro. Right? So when he's even mentioned, it's like, nigga did it. But when it's other people who they like or who they don't have any issue with, they're like, story don't make sense. Eminem name is on there. Don't make sense. This other person, Jay-Z. And that's where I think perhaps maybe the government had a fucking point. Because if you're not going to take all of it and say, and pause with that, if you're not going to take the entire released files, and remember, if there was prosecutable offenses there, they would have been prosecuted, and no one has even came out to say, why is this person not in jail? Because everything feels like one person said it, but they can't prove it. This is, somebody's emailing about something. The email doesn't go all the way through. Somebody gives like some story. They're trying to follow up with it, but they can't really it's kind of all over the place. But one thing is true in there is that there's a lot of salacious shit. There's a story in there, right? That George W. Bush sacrificed the child and ate the intestines. Like literally. Literally. Hold on. In one of the allegations, it said, let me see if I can find it in tests. Look, they say, what are the allegations against in an email correspondence, which a purported Epstein victim account notes, thanks to M, I didn't realize George Bush R-word him too. More details about the victim are attached in the same document. While on this yacht, he witnessed African-American males having sex with blonde females, all of whom were bleeding during intercourse. That's what the document says. It says he was a victim of a ritualistic sacrifice. And by the way, I'll show you the full document that you guys can know I'm not capping. He was a victim of a ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a skimiter, but left no scar. And on the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed. And individuals ate the feces from the intestines. That's what they're accusing George W. Bush of. That's the problem with the files. How do we make sense of all of these things? Now, here's me. I'm a math guy. I don't like to do the discernment in terms of these files because there's no charges. So I'm going to believe it all or I ain't going to believe none. That's what I'm a 1 or 0 guy. So what do? Do you read this and be like, nah, in my mind, they wouldn't do that. That's cap. But then you go to another one and you're like, that sounds right. That sounds believable to me. Let me find if you think I'm lying. If you think I'm lying, here it goes. This is, and again, remember, people are saying nah, because now everybody depend on what horse they have in a race. And these are all people who called for the release of the Epstein files. They have their own way of interpreting what in the files to take serious and what not to. So what they say is this. Oh, if it was a tip, something on a tip line, we ain't gonna believe that. But if it was an email, we believe that. That's the problem. Okay. So now this is not a tip. This is not a random call. This is not a random call into the FBI tip line. It says subject, interview of a purported Epstein victim. So someone sat with an FBI agent and actually said this. So I'd like to add another couple points that were disclosed by the purported victim. While on the yacht, they witnessed African-American males having sex with white blonde females, all whom was bleeding during intercourse. He was a victim of ritualistic sacrifice. His feet was cut with a blah, 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 left no scarring, da, da, da. He was also raped by George W. Bush I. So supposedly, Bush was on a yacht, R-word in chicks, or, I don't know, kids, whatever, and they witness the intestines. The kids get sacrificed. They take the intestines out, and they start eating the shit out of the intestines. That's an allegation. That's an allegation. I'm not telling you to believe it or not to believe it. I'm asking you, how do we figure out what's true? Now, I think we should talk about it all. I don't care if they say Trump did this. I don't care if they said Bill Gates did this. I don't care if they say Bill Clinton did this. I don't care if they say George Bush did this. I don't care if they say Pusha T did this. I don't care if they say Jay-Z did this. I think we should talk about it all. My opinion. Talk about it all. Also, I actually believe every name in this Epstein list or Epstein files should be fully investigated by the Department of Justice, including the president of the United States. If your name is in this type of mess, we don't know what's true. We don't know what's false. At least could we then get the Department of Justice, which I think they all kind of did, but we need it officially, where they could come out and vehemently and categorically state on the record for all the people involved, yes, we investigated Pusha T. Yes, we investigated Jay-Z. Yes, we investigated Eminem. Yes, we investigated Elon Musk. Yes, we investigated Donald Trump. Yes, we investigated George W. Bush 1. And we figured out we didn't have charges and that maybe is cap. We can't prove it, but there's nothing here to prosecute, because that becomes the question. We're left with this list, and this list is more confusing now that we got it than before we had it. It's more confusing now that we got it before we had it, because everybody thought this list was going to be a very simple thing. Hey, Epstein is fucking a bunch of underage kids. He had people that was in like this blackmail type of like thing. And essentially what happened is that he he had client lists of people who like to fuck underage girls or like to take advantage of women in that setting that were being trafficked. Right? So we thought it was going to be a very simple thing. Who were the clients? Who uses services? We get to find out, okay, that's not as easy. There was a book, which was his contact book, pulled out a long time ago, that they said, that's not the list because he has a lot of business people in the list. Okay. Or business people in the contact book. So we're like, okay, where's his client list? We can't get the proof we need. So we said, give us all the files. They give us all the files, and the files is saying all type of stuff. We don't know what it's saying now. We don't know what to believe. Said Bush raped a male victim and watched babies being dismembered while they ate feces from their intestines? What? Somebody's saying I'm being obtuse. Am I being obtuse, or I'm just not picking and choosing like y'all want to pick and choose? Because I'm down to believe it all. I'm down to believe it all. I don't give a fuck. The thing is, nobody's down to believe it all. Because everybody got like somebody who they think is innocent that got caught up in it. So we don't know what the files is. So now you got to take the files and then you got to like, oh no, now I believe this part, but not this part. Or you might be on some conspiracy theory thing. Nah, they made up these parts, but the real part is this. I thought the files were supposed to be to shut us the fuck up. But you know what they're saying now? Oh, no, it's the other files they haven't released. Then they're like, no, it's the redactions. Now, the redactions, that's what it is. And yes, some of these redactions are crazy. But I'm here asking, what the hell are we supposed to make of this? Honestly. Now, when it came time to Jay-Z, hip-hop culture came out. I've never seen this before. Hey, that was false. We don't believe that. That categorically never happened. How come Jay-Z just gets the blanket pass? Like never. Oh, Jay-Z's just, no, not Jay though. Now, I want to point out in real time how some of these switch-ups are happening here, chat. And shout out to my man Charlemagne. This is my man's. I don't want nobody to try to put me against him. It's my guy. I love him always. But I got to point out that the Epstein files coming out, and I'm not a political guy that much, but he was on the radio pretty much demanding, bring it out. We need to see it, because the agenda was, this how we going to get Trump. Let's keep it a bean. The Epstein files sounded amazing when we thought it was only the elites we didn't know and we really fucking hated that were going to be accused and supposedly had some proof of doing the nasty shit. Watch.
It's funny how the news works. Because Bill Clinton, wrote a letter to, Jeffrey Epstein as well for his birthday, but nobody's talking about that. And Jeffrey Epstein had a picture.
This is before the list got released. I love Charlemagne, but I got to point it out. Do you hear the words that's coming out of his mouth? He said, nobody is talking about Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein or the connection thereof, and he's questioning it. Now, I want y'all to listen with your ears. Did he accuse Bill Clinton of anything? No. But he seems, this is before the list comes out, he seems to be asking, well, why? Or let's talk about it. Why aren't we talking about it? I love when people say things like that. We should talk about it. Hear it again.
News works. Because Bill Clinton, wrote a letter to, Jeffrey Epstein as well for his birthday, but nobody's talking about that. And Jeffrey Epstein had a picture of Bill Clinton in a dress and high heels, in his New York mansion, but nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list.
I like that.
About that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go.
Hold up now.
I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go.
Wait,
nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go.
Wait, hold up a motherfucking second.
Talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go.
Now, I keep telling y'all, give me the rules, I rock with it. Hold up now.
But nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go. Burn it all down.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's replay. Charlotte, you're my guy, but we do have to go on your words.
York mansion, but nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go. Burn it all down.
Wait, I'm not hearing right. I think I got a little bit of earwax popping before the list was announced. And everybody who was speaking and demanding the list, they're thinking none of my homies on there, right? This is how they communicated about said list.
In his New York mansion, but nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go. Burn it all down. That's just simple as that. Mutually assured destruction. Whoever's on that list need to go. Nobody needs to be protecting pedophiles. I don't care.
I need to play this again.
It's funny how the news works. Because Bill Clinton,
This is poetry in motion. Every word that's said. It's funny how the news works. That's what Charlemagne says. It's funny how the news works. Oh, we heard this about Bill Clinton and Epstein, but nobody want to talk about it. Isn't that kind of ironic about what I've been saying? After the list came out, I seen some shit, and I'm like, all right, let's talk about it. Why you want to talk about that? Wait, what? Let me just play this again. Maybe I have to change the speed. It might be a little bit too fast. Can I change the speed? Can I change the speed?
It's funny how the news works. Because Bill Clinton, wrote a letter to, Jeffrey Epstein as well for his birthday, but nobody's talking about that. And Jeffrey Epstein had a picture of Bill Clinton in a dress and high heels, in his New York mansion, but nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go. Burn it all down. That's just simple as that. Mutually assured destruction.
Burn it all down.
Whoever's on that list need to go. Nobody needs to be protecting pedophiles. I don't care what party they are.
Nobody needs to be protecting the PDFs. And we don't care what party they are. That's a motto I could get with. I like that. I like that type of talk. Oh, yeah. Let's get it. Yeah. Now they dropped the files, and would you believe?
I want to get to the Pusha T, Jay-Z, Eminem of it all, because that's what went crazy on my algorithm. I have one question. There's one question for the room. What do niggas hate more? Reading or accountability? What y'all think?
Accountability.
Reading.
I think reading too. Okay? I think reading as well. Okay? I don't understand why y'all are so quick to want to tear our own down without doing just a little bit of
Wait, hold the fuck up.
Who's on the list? Everybody got to go. Burn it all down.
Wait, hold the fuck up.
Okay? I don't understand why y'all are so quick to want to tear our own down without.
Wait, no, hold the fuck up.
My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go. Burn it all down.
Yeah.
Out doing just a little bit of research as well. Okay? I don't understand why y'all are so quick to want to tear our own down.
Wait, what?
About that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go. Burn it all down.
Wait, what?
Out doing just a little bit of research. Okay, by the way, I saw way more headlines about Pusha T and Jay-Z than I did Eminem, but that's not surprising because we love tearing our own down. Even though when you're talking hip-hop, Eminem is one of us, okay? But I don't even like the headlines I saw of him, all right? Connecting Pusha T, Jay-Z, and Eminem to something like the Epstein files, come on, man, okay?
Wait, what? Wait, no, hold up, Chad. Hold up.
In his New York mansion, but nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go. Burn it all down. Like, that's just simple as that. Mutually assured destruction. Whoever's on that list need.
Whoever.
Mutually assured destruction. Whoever's on that list need to go. Nobody.
Whoever. Well, whoever except these niggas, right?
Assured destruction. Whoever's on that list need to go. Nobody needs to be protecting pedophiles. I don't care what party they are.
No.
Unless they could. Yeah, we don't care if they're Democrat or Republican, but we do care if they're a third party. Oh, hold up now.
Eminem is one of us, okay? But I don't even like the headlines I saw of him. Pusha T, Jay-Z, and Eminem to something like the Epstein files. Come on, man. Okay, listen, for everyone who may not know, let me explain to you. Mentions of these artists didn't come from Epstein's personal records. They didn't come from reports supported by law enforcement.
The majority of the files could not be corroborated. That's why no one's in custody. There isn't the files we currently have. There's nobody saying, hey, based on this and this, you should charge this person for this offense at this time. This is why we're about to have hearings about this. So essentially, that's what I was saying. We got a bunch of uncorroborated shit about everybody. How do we pick and choose who to talk about? Me, I say talk about them all. Investigate the president, investigate Elon, investigate this guy, investigate that guy, investigate Pusha T, investigate Jay-Z, investigate Eminem. That's what I say. Everybody. Because I heard Charlotte, he said, burn it all down.
On the list. Everybody got to go.
Everybody got to go. I was with him.
Okay, these stories came from a crisis intake report, a public hotline submission.
There's multiple crisis intake reports that mentioned Trump, that mentioned other people who we already think they're on some other shit, and people weren't saying, let's throw those away. But for Jay-Z and Pusha T,
a tip that some random person called in from 2019. They aren't backed by court findings, indictments, confirmed evidence. And if you actually read the stories, they just simply don't make any sense. Okay, what the hell would Jay-Z be doing with Harvey Wienstein and Attorney General William Barr in 1996? That was the year his first album came out. Do you really think Pusha T in 2007 was hanging around Harvey Weinstein and was one of the victim's handlers? In the Eminem story, the woman describes how she was handlers. In the Eminem, do you really think Pusha T in 2007 was hanging around Harvey Weinstein and was one of the victim's handlers?
Well, it's ironic that, Charlemagne says that, and then we go back to the. Let's just go back to this. What did he say?
Wrote a letter to, but nobody's talking about that.
He says nobody's talking about that. Well, we don't know if Jay-Z did anything. We just want to talk about it. And it seems like there's a few people that says there's nothing to talk about, and that kind of goes against what you said before the list came out, before we knew Jay was on it. That's all I'm saying. We just want to talk about it. Now, I know some people say, oh, well, actually, that came from this tip line to send third, but you heard what Charlamagne just said there?
1996. That was the year his first. When you read the stories, they just simply don't make any sense. Okay, what the hell would Jay-Z be doing with Harvey Weinstein and Attorney General William Barr in 1996? That was
okay. What would he be doing with them in 1996? Let's figure out what he was doing with them in 2006. Let's try to figure it out. Okay, we got the year wrong, but why was he with this nigga? Right? Why would you see how you avoid the conversation now? Why would he be doing with him in 1996? But hey, what are you doing with him in 2006? Wait, hold up. Yo, in 2007 at an after party. Look. What? Oh, never mind. They got the year wrong. It wasn't 1996. It was 2006. Innocent. Straight up. Now, clearly, the relationship between these two, which, okay, I think we should just talk about it. We can't talk about it? Does anybody want to talk about it? I'm going over what Charlotte said. Charlotte said we should talk about the Bill Clinton stuff. I think we should. We should talk about the Trump stuff. I think we should. We should talk about Bill Gates. I think we should. We should talk about Jay-Z. I think we should. So, what was all of this type shit? What was this? What was that? Now, maybe because we're talking about Epstein, y'all forgot who this guy is. Let me just give y'all a real good a good remembrance, right? I'm gonna remind y'all who that is, okay? Okay, I don't know what that is. I want to remind you who that is.
It's a scene many of his accusers never thought they'd see. Harvey Wienstein, a man used to walking red carpets, now in handcuffs.
They try to act like this nigga ain't as bad as Epstein, but he up there. He on the Mount Rushmore of the essayers. Like, let's keep it a bean. They're like, wow. You see everybody glossed over this? If Jeffrey Epstein was Shaq, he was Kobe. I'm tripping? If Jeffrey Epstein was Shaq, Harvey Weinstein was Kobe. So I like how nobody want to talk about it no more, but I'm keeping it a bean. If Jeffrey Epstein was Shaq, this nigga was Kobe. Don't listen to me though. They'll tell you right now.
Doing a perp walk.
To lure young women into situations where he was able to violate them sexually.
His smile vanished in court as he was formally charged with 2 counts of rape and 1 of a criminal sexual act. It's been 7 months since his behavior, long rumored in the industry, became national headlines. Lucia Evans was one of the first to tell her story. Like so many others, she says Weinstein used his powerful position in the entertainment world to lure her to a meeting, where she says he forced her to perform oral sex. That alleged 2004 encounter...
Are we going to talk about it? Oh, this ain't 1996. So because it ain't 1996, even though he's kicking it with the Mount Rushmore Hall of Famer, that is the Kobe Bryant. And Kobe, I hate to even throw your God rest your soul in this, because Harvey Weinstein is Shaq. Jeffrey Epstein is Shaq. This Kobe. But this wasn't 1996. So that means he's clear.
Led to one of today's charges. The two rape charges date to 2013. The accuser in that case has yet to tell her story publicly. Weinstein's lawyer says the disgraced movie mogul will plead not guilty.
Okay.
CBC News, New York.
Okay. Now, I can hear him already. They don't want to talk about this one. They don't want to talk about it. No, why y'all trying to tear a black man down? Huh? Why the hell would Jay-Z be hanging out with Harvey Wienstein in 1997? What about 2007? What about 2007? Okay. I already got the excuse for them. Nah. This was just a red carpet. Everybody was taking random pictures. You don't know that nigga like that. You don't bang with him. Oh, really? Well, let me ask y'all a question. You ever heard of the Khalif Browder story? There was a documentary actually put out. It was co-produced by Jiggle. It was a story of a black teen that spent 3 years at Rikers without a conviction, mostly in solitary confinement after accused of stealing a backpack. It led to severe trauma and his eventual suicide. This was something was about, it really emphasized how black men were treated in the, criminal justice system, especially when they didn't have the resources to push for release from detention. It was the reality that a lot of black people were facing. And thanks to Jay-Z, he gave light to that story and he gave a platform. He co-produced this 6-part documentary series. Now, let's just go to the Wikipedia. Ironically, you want to know who else was the executive producer? Oh. Maybe it wasn't a random picture after all, right? Huh? Oh, wow. Well, the series was okay. Not only was Weinstein an executive producer, let's see who funded it. Time. The Khalif Browder story was produced by Jay-Z's Rock Nation and the Weinstein Company in association with Cinemart. Okay. Interesting. Now, in typical Jay fashion, Jay's a smart guy. I love him. Told you, consummate capitalist. You remember these pictures right here? Remember these pictures right here? He's toasting with Diddy at the brunch. Take that. They're having a blast. Look. Look. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's take a toast. Right? You know. Hey, you don't remember these? Do you remember these? Oh man. All for when Diddy gets arrested, Jay puts out a statement. I ain't know that nigga like that. Hold on, I got another one. Hold on. I got another one. Y'all remember this? Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yo, what's up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday. Let's blow out the candles together. Diddy gets arrested. December 2024, Jay-Z's attorney says him and Diddy were not friends. They were professional acquaintances. They were not friends. Professional acquaintances. Basically, I don't know that nigga like that. I don't know. These videos had me fooled. Professional acquaintance. Yeah, I love you as a professional acquaintance. Professional acquaintance. Professional acquaintance. Interesting. That couldn't be a pattern, right? That couldn't be a pattern, right? That couldn't be no goddamn pattern. Let's see. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I don't know. It's just... I don't know. There's only seat left at the spot. Harvey Wienstein gets caught up. He mentions Jay-Z in his apology. I came in the age of the 60s and 70s where the rules was about behavior were different. That was a culture then. I've learned since then it's not an excuse. In the office or out of it to anyone. I realized some time ago I needed to be a better person with my interaction with the people. I have changed. I appreciate the way I behaved with colleagues in the past. It's caused a lot of pain. Sincerely apologize for it. Though I'm trying to do better, I have a long way to go. This is my commitment. My journey will now be to learn about myself and conquer my demons. Over the last year, I've asked Lisa Bloom to tutor me and put together a team of people. I've brought therapists, and I plan to leave of absence for my company and to deal with this issue head on. I so respect all women and regret what happened. I hope that my actions will speak louder than words, and one day we will all be able to earn their trust and sit down with Lisa and learn more. Jay-Z wrote in 444, I'm not the man I thought I was, and I better be that man for my children. The same is true for me. I want a second chance in the community, but I know I've got work to do to earn it. I have goals that are not priorities. Trust me, this is an overnight process. I've been trying to do this for 10 years, and this is a wake-up call. I cannot be more remorseful about the people I have hurt, and I plan to do right by all of them. I'm going to need a place to channel all that anger, so I've decided I'm going to give the NRA my full attention. I hope Wayne Lapierre will enjoy his retirement. I'm going to go to do it at the same place I had my bar mitzvah. I'm making a movie about our president. Perhaps we could make it a joint retirement party. 1 year ago, I began organizing a $5 million foundation to give scholarships to women directors at USC. While this might seem coincidental, it's been in the works for a year. It will be named after my mom, and I won't disappoint her. Professional acquaintances. What? Professional? I don't know. I don't know. Remember what happened with Diddy? Oh, they got you? Oh, yeah. By the way, that's my man's Jay. I'm your man's? You know what happened afterwards, right? Oh, you ain't know about this one? You think you my man's? Fuck out of here. In May 2018, Jay-Z, Sean Carter sued the Weinstein Company and the studio that was co-founded by Harvey Wienstein as part of his bankruptcy proceedings. You're done. Let me hop off the boat. We were professional associates. The reason for the lawsuit, Jay-Z claimed the company, Harvey Wienstein, the guy who was, the guy that was answering questions for him, the guy that was, we're hugged up everywhere. The guy that was, the guy was, the guy. You remember the Diddy shit? I love you, brother. That's what he said.
I
love you too, brother. Professional acquaintance. Remember that. Nigga gets cooked. It's over. May 2018, he sues him. He claims that the company owed him $500,000 for the production fees related to 2 documentary projects. It was made in the Delaware bankruptcy court. He claimed, the guy was going through bankruptcy. He said, give me my money. I don't know you like that, gang. Okay? Eminem also joined in. And ever since then, Jay has had no contact with that guy or has no more association. Because in reality, this is a Hollywood Reporter. I want you to read this. Having known Jay on a personal level for many years. Remember, professional associate. We're thrilled to have the opportunity to expand our relationship, said TWC co-founder or co-chairman Harvey Wienstein. Jay's ability to influence entertainment and pop culture has gone well beyond music for many years. He approaches every aspect of his career with both determination and effortlessness, making him one of the leading power players in entertainment history. We have already some exceptional projects in the works, and we're excited to see what more is to come. Professional associate. I think you guys get the picture here without me having to spell it out all the way. Think you guys get the picture here.
Rock Nation?
Yeah, but it's not that I'm biased. Here's the thing, and to your point.
Oh, they say you're too biased for Rock Nation?
Yeah, but it's not that I'm biased. Here's the thing, and to your point, and I've always said, when you actually know people in the business,
It's
your
different.
perception will change.
Yeah.
The reason I like Rock Nation, Desiree Perez and Jay-Z and, my man B-High and Emery and all of them is because I've seen them, I've watched how they treat people that can't do nothing for them. That is the same thing with Cardi. Watch how certain individuals treat people that can't do anything for them.
Yes,
Charlamagne's smart enough to know you could do a lot for Jay-Z. He doesn't talk, you do. You could do a lot for Jay-Z. He doesn't talk, you do. When his name comes up, it's nothing to talk about. Yo, let's move past this. Let's focus on Trump. You could do a lot for him. You do the talking, he doesn't.
It's a true sign of someone's integrity.
That's when you know if a motherfucker's a good person or not.
Yeah.
I've seen all of these individuals I just named show up for people, right? Show up for causes.
They cut checks.
Mm-hmm.
Show up for organizations. Seeing people make phone calls and just let them know what's going on, and they show up anonymously
Sometimes not anonymously. If people find out, it don't matter. They're for the people.
Yeah.
I like people who are for the people. I don't give
They're not for the people. They're for profit. They're for profit. We got to point it out.
Epstein file. Like, I had to go see.
Now, just wrapping up this Epstein file conversation is this.
Files, Jay-Z's in the Epstein files, Pusha T's in the Epstein file. Like, I had to go see.
Okay.
For myself. These are
You saw it, right?
people that we grew up on, and I need to what? I had to go actually look. And then when you look and realize, oh, this is just a public hotline number that anybody can call and leave any type of message.
And again, now he's right about that, but I want to point out that the majority of the Epstein files are unsubstantiated, non-corroborated or uncorroborated allegations, and whether it was called into a hotline or someone claimed they were a victim and actually sat with a agent or some law enforcement person, there was not enough evidence then and now to move forward with an investigation from what we see. And I'm talking about people looking through these files, not law enforcement telling us. The entire thing is what you believe. It's pretty much hearsay. So if you think someone is already a creep, you're going to believe the things that help tell or justify your thoughts about them with that particular situation. But if you think Jay-Z is an angel, you're going to look at the fact that it's not proven. But nothing is proven.
Believe all women, Charlotte.
No. Especially when it's a woman saying that they're 300. The woman literally said, if you read the Eminem story, she goes, my tape should be easy to find. I don't even know what year she put this, by the way. I didn't look and see what year it was. She put, my tape should be easy to find because I'm 300 pounds. I slept with Eminem. They drugged me and he had sex with me. When I woke up, Diddy was recording.
That's a lot.
Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see the story about Jay-Z. The woman is like, it was Jay-Z, Harvey Wienstein, Attorney General William Barr, and some CEO of some company in 1996. Reasonable Doubt came out in 1996. Like, what are we doing?
Well, we don't have pictures with Jay and Jeffrey Epstein from my knowledge, but we definitely do with him and Harvey Weinstein eventually. And again, if I'm telling you one's Shaq and one's Kobe in terms of what they were doing, maybe we need to get the Weinstein files. Ooh, that'd be a good one. You think they're interested in that one? Okay, yeah, y'all got it. Could y'all ask them, okay, cool. Since we've now found mad pictures and videos of Jay with Harvey Weinstein, should we demand the Weinstein files that possibly could tell us maybe a little bit more about Jay-Z's relationship with Harvey Weinstein? Because you're right. I think they're right. Yeah, there was this, I guess, unsubstantiated. It was saying it was at Jeffrey Epstein's house. But we never seen a picture with Jay and Jeffrey Epstein. But there's a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. He funded a documentary with Weinstein, and Weinstein was Kobe. I hope you get the reference. Not actually Kobe Bryant, but he was Jordan and Pippen. Okay? If Epstein was Jordan, Weinstein was Pippen. So maybe what we should be calling for is the Weinstein files, whatever those are. The interviews that never came out, the grand jury testimonies and that maybe didn't lead to charges. Maybe that's what we need to do. Do you think Charlemagne or anybody else who basically told us like, yo, we're just barking up a tree that got no evidence, or that we're just making stuff up and, you know, people just want to tear down black men, do you think they would say, oh, no, you know what? That's actually a good one. We should get the Weinstein files and see if Jay-Z's in that.
No disrespect to Pusha T. You know I love Pusha T. What the fuck would Pusha T be doing around Harvey Weinstein in 2007? Like, what are we...
Selling drugs? Sounds funny, but yes.
Like in 2000, why would Harvey Weinstein be around Pusha T in 2007? And all they said was Pusha T was a handler. That's what they said. He was a handler. What the fuck does that even mean? This shit was clear bullshit. And
Charlamagne, I'm going to show you what a handler is. This is a handler right here. Charlamagne, you're incredibly smart. This is a handler.
Well, if anything like that happens, if that happens to one kid, any place that can happen to any kid.
Jay-Z's asked the question, and his handler steps in to answer it and deflect.
Your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for
You see his handler instantly shake his head.
All right, guys, that's it. Let's go. You know what? This is the labor of love, Jay, and that's the result he's playing for him.
I think we know what handlers mean. Like, we don't have to act like naive, okay? We know what handlers mean.
in 2007, and all they said was Pusha T was a handler. That's what they said. He was a handler. What the fuck does that even mean? This shit was clear bullshit, and you can see who pushes the narratives. Every Drake fan page ran with that. Oh, how convenient. The weekend that Pusha T, is nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys and Rap Album of the Year at the Grammys, right? Like, oh, how convenient all of a sudden. And by the way, I'm going to say something.
It's not convenient. All right, Charlamagne's he's losing me a little bit, and I'm not defending Drake fans here. I don't know who necessarily he's talking about. Charlamagne, Drake fans did not infiltrate the Department of Justice and put Pusha T's name in a document. Like, that did not happen. Like, that literally did not happen. They randomly picked a day, an arbitrary day, that they were going to release all these files, and through people looking to see, because inquiring minds, millions of people wanted to know what the hell was going on. They looked through it, and they seen Pusha T's name. Drake fans did not do that.
The weekend that Pusha T, is nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys and Rap Album of the Year at the Grammys, right? Like, oh, how convenient all of a sudden. And by the way, I'm going to say something. All of this shit is going to come out. I'm not even talking about Epstein file. I'm talking about low vibrational hip hop shit right now. All of this shit is going to come out, and you're going to see who is behind so much of this stuff.
What does that mean?
You'll see. You'll see who's getting paid. You'll see who's paying them. You'll see. All of this shit going to come out sooner than later.
I think that's what people have been trying to see. Are we going to find out the Weinstein files? Could we get some type of query to the Department of Justice about the Weinstein files and maybe his adjacent connection to hip hop? Why did Harvey Wienstein need to be around Jay-Z that much to the point he's funding a film about black oppression within the prison industry complex? Him answering questions for Jay-Z? Yes, we want to know. Is that what Charlamagne is talking about? We want to know. Jay, why was this your man's? Jay, we already forgave you for the R. Kelly stuff. Because Kelly music was fire still. I ain't gonna hold you, still. But Harvey Weinstein is crazy. Harvey Weinstein is crazy, bro.
What does that mean?
Hey,
you gotta give more than that.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't never got to give more than that. I give more than that when more of that comes out to give. Okay? Because more of that always comes out to give. I just all I do is just give you the warnings. Like, boom, watch. And then everybody going to be sitting back like, oh, shit. All of this shit is really targeted all the time.
Are you saying that there might be a system that exists not only within hip hop?
Ain't nobody, I'm going to be honest with you. It was not in my bingo cards. Or, listen, I'll ask Drake fans. Y'all Drake fans, did y'all manifest Jay-Z being in the Epstein files? I thought this was white people shit. I thought there would be no black people in this. Maybe Dennis Rodman or something like that. Because, Dennis Rodman being some extraterrestrial shit. Not necessarily saying, like, sex trafficking. I'm just saying, like, if you want to go to North Korea, you might see Dennis Rodman just there. Like, he's just into some other shit. It was not in my bingo cards that Jay-Z seemingly is buddy-buddy with Harvey Wienstein, a Hall of Fame essayer, and then be named in Jeffrey Epstein's files where he's accused of doing some other shit. Come on now.
But within all forms of media, where certain accounts collaborate and target other people by the use of bots and misinformation.
And the crazy thing is, it's not even, I said hip hop, but it's not even just about hip hop anymore because hip hop has so much influence. A lot of it is politically driven, right? A lot of it is who people think, a lot of it is who people think is on what side, right? And based on what side you're on, you will get targeted by certain individuals to hurt your influence. You'll see. Just remember I said it. You'll see. But that's the crazy thing about stories like this, because everything isn't the same. Like the Epstein files are totally different than somebody calling a goddamn FBI hotline, leaving a fucking anonymous tip.
No, it's not. It's in the Epstein files. Like they literally released it with the thing. Because anything revolved around Epstein got all clumped together, and that's what the Epstein files are. You can't detach what you don't like. There is reports about Donald Trump in the Epstein files that came from callers who claim they were either at Mar-a-Lago or whatever, and they had a story. That's in the Epstein files as well. You don't see, well, I don't know what the fuck people close to Donald Trump is doing, but like, I'm not going to be here like, oh, nah, we're not taking this one serious. No, we're taking it all serious. If your name is in here, you're probably a freaky frog. Not saying you're doing nothing wrong, but that's the circles you were hanging with. That was your mans in them. Your name is mentioned because that's your mans in them. Stop playing.
And that's what I said. Those things are clearly distinctive if you choose to go motherfucking read past the headline on Shade Room.
Right.
That's all.
Okay. What do y'all think? I want to point this out too, just to let y'all know I'm keeping the same energy. I'm on Twitter, and this is just my search. Donald Trump hotline Epstein. Okay, just want to let you know. Okay, so every single mention of Trump so far. Well, I'm pretty sure there's much more, so I'm not gonna just be on this. In the Epstein files posted by Democrats for some reason, constantly crops out and amidst these facts. These were phone calls to a hotline after Trump became president. Now, I'm telling y'all, even as somebody who is not opposed to Trump, that I'm looking at Trump the same way I look at Jay-Z. But nobody want to hear that. Remember what Charlemagne said? Burn them all. Right? Complainant was spoken to and not deemed credible. Involving police, requested mandatory psychiatric evaluation. No contact was made. Victim is identified as deceased. Complainant did not have confirm. Okay, phone number was bad. Okay, so a lot of these references to stories about Trump is the same thing as it was about Jay-Z, right? They're calls into a FBI tip line, and they're required to document it somehow. I'm not going to say, because I know somebody will be like, yo, you trying to save your man's Trump? Nope. Let's investigate it all. If your name in this, you look a little fishy. Let's just look at it all. What's the problem? But everyone say, yeah, we should look at it, but just not the Jay-Z ones. Like, that sound crazy. Like, let's look at the Trump shit. Nah, nigga, we finna look at them all. Anyway. Okay. Anything else about Jay-Z? I think we're good with Jay. Shout out to Jay, man. It's my guy. I love Jay. The other day, someone sent me a Rock Nation. Oh, I think it's a Rock Nation hat. It's the one with the little plane on it. I feel like it was an olive branch. I may have ruined it today because I think they're trying to get me on a Team Rock Nation. Yeah, how much you think that, how much you think Rock Nation would like pay me to just like stop talking about it? How much? Maybe I should just give him a price. $200K. I'll give you out 3 months. They try to send me a hat. I couldn't tell if it was a peace treaty or a threat. I was just like, damn. It's a jokey joke here. All right. All right. Okay, let's get into some of these topics here. First and foremost, I do want to play this and react to it first. This is Joe Budden versus Corey Holcomb. So I don't know what really set this up, but Corey Holcomb and Joe Budden. I guess I don't know if they're going back and forth, but Corey Holcomb addressed Joe, and after he addressed Joe, Joe addressed him. And I want to play this, and I want to get some context. Let me read. Corey Holcomb is trending again because of one of his egregious public treatment against women. Okay, all right, cool. So this is the context. On January 23rd, 2026, a video leaked online showing the comedian Corey Holcomb violently pushing a fellow comedian, Christina Payne, in the face. Okay, we're not going to show that video. It says that yeah. So anyway. Oh, by the way, the last thing on the Jay-Z thing too, because I know people like, again, I'm not only like obsessed with like this idea that maybe he was doing some weird shit, and I don't know if he was doing weird stuff. I want qualitative conversation like they have about everybody else. Like, stop the protecting. You know if these people actually had a good conversation and like a one that's actually valid, doesn't look like you're protecting, and they're being honest and they're actually weighing what's, because with anybody else, they'll be like, all right, if you constantly are being mentioned among these things, like, have you been living wrong? Like, whatever the case is. That's how they talk about everybody else. If it was done for Jay, I'd be cool. I'm all right. But it feels like he's protected, and that's the problem. Also, you gotta remember, the other thing that's outside of that, JP Morgan, I think it was the CEO of JP Morgan or something like that, or somebody, it was an email about Jay-Z, that was in the Epstein files. And, this particular email, people felt like this was kind of, for them, some proof that maybe Jay-Z was bought out by like another level of elite, that, he was he was making black people not act out to keep business going on for these bigger companies, right? So this is Jeffrey Epstein with Jess Stolley. We looked this up before. Jess Stolley, who's this? This is the CEO of Barclays. Actually, he's not JP Morgan. I think maybe he had something with JP Morgan back in the day. And the conversation was, this is Jeffrey Epstein and Jess Stolley says, you want to know why we're not Sao Paulo? Watch the TV ads on the Super Bowl. It's all about hip blacks with hip cars and white women. The group that should be in the streets, so they're saying that the group that should be protesting, they've been bought off by Jay-Z. Okay? And that's another thing I think we should talk about. Was Jay-Z compromised? I talk about me being compromised. There's like, they're talking about emails that would, they said don't listen to the random tips that came in via hotline. Well, this is an email to Jeffrey Epstein that was actually sent from Gestali, and they're literally saying that the group of black people that would normally be protesting what's happening here was bought off by Jay-Z. It would actually infer to anyone with a reasonable mind that Jay-Z, who had, I always said, all the political currency in the world, is someone that the elite, like a Jeffrey Epstein or Gestali, feel they could give and pay for to buy off black Americans to shut the fuck up. If that's not being compromised, I don't know what is. So again, there's many reasons to talk about why Jay-Z's name is in this. If y'all seen, we just need to give Ack $1 million and we're good. Like, we've bought off Ack, so we've bought this off. Y'all would have like more to talk about, but not with Jay. It's all good.